Ever since the beginning of time, a form of story portrayed by drawings exists. From cavemen immortalizing their adventures to Egyptian drawing tales of their victories. Comics were also used to relieve readers from the harsh news in newspapers and became more of a genre in 1938 with the arrival of Superman. Since then, comic books have gained a community, popularity, and even inspired movies and series on their tales. But since then, what if a regular Joe like you and me try to create our own comic book? Will we ever see our characters make a name for themselves? Or will they be overshadowed by pre existing icons? I'm Roman, and today we'll find out the issues content creators have when making comics. First and foremost, if you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, and share it with friends, as it's totally free. You'd also help me out a lot. Now, let's break this down with a list, and we're starting off with the characters of an original comic book are the second most important thing in a fictional world. They are the ones who live and guide the story, plus help convey the message of a story. Unfortunately, design and personality can already be heavy points of comparison. Let's take an example. What do these three pictures have in common? When you look at them, you immediately think the design is similar or a carbon copy of Superman. What if I tell you a character lost their parents and now they fight crime as a superhero? You'd immediately think of Batman. These issues can result as a problem for original comic book creators, as people will focus more on the similarities rather than the story or the lore of a character. Now, this may seem trivial at first because powers are not so important as personality in a story. However, we can recognize or associate abilities with a specific character, and our brains will label it as a copy of an already existing character. Now, unlike the previous one, this issue can be dealt with by changing the origin of the abilities. If a character can fly and is super strong, you can say it's because of Earth's weaker gravity, or that the character took something that gives him those abilities. Look at Homelander, another of Superman's variants. Homelander was injected with a serum that gives him his powers. Using different elements that can give the same results is a way better form to differentiate characters and provide a more compelling story. Part of every character, aside from their backstory, is their motive to do what they do. However, this can tie in with the first point, where the character has a similar story to an already existing character, and they may be labeled as copies. This is a more complex issue, but if treated right, it can be a successful concept for a story. Making compelling and relatable reasons are the perfect way to reach the audience and give the message your work wants to convey. Every story has a conflict to either challenge the character or get to know the protagonist more. There are battles that scar a character or internal dilemmas that further resonate with the audience. However, these days people don't want conflicts to be too conflicting. For a while now, we have got simple conflict with no actual consequences or importance. Aside from that, conflicts like big events or other intriguing storylines have been already done by mainstream companies. The way to go around this issue is to create realistic issues and new outcomes or solutions to further separate from the mainstream's original storyline. Have characters choose different options and be presented with more intricate problems and consequences for your storyline. Sadly, algorithms and ads only benefit the big companies who already have no idea what to do with their comics. Unfortunately, the little guys always must try their hardest to at least get 100 views. Most of the original comic book creators spend days on end trying to find what's trendy and what can give them a moment in the spotlight. This can be solved by paying attention to those little accounts who are passionate about their characters and want their vision shared with the world. This helps comic creators to continue working on their stories and develop their fictional world.